Welcome back. Traffic Stop Study Guide, Section 2, Part 3. Describe how to safely approach the vehicle. When approaching the subject vehicle, the officer must use available cover and avoid walking between the patrol car and the subject vehicle to prevent pinning hazards. The officer stays out of active traffic lanes, watches for brake or reverse lights, and avoid passing through patrol headlights at night. The officer inspects the license plate for tampering, expiration, or improper mounting, checks the trunk for pry marks or missing lock cylinders, pushes down on the trunk lid to ensure it is latched, and touches the trunk lid to leave fingerprint evidence of contact. Describe how to conduct the no approach tactic. The no approach tactic is conducted when an officer deems a physical approach unsafe, such as when windows are heavily tinted, multiple occupants are present, or interior activity is obscured. The officer exits the patrol car and assumes a protective tactical position behind a vehicle pillar, door, or the rear of the patrol car. The officer then uses hand gestures or the PA system to command the driver to exit their vehicle and walk back towards the patrol car, while strictly observing the driver's hands and movements for signs of aggression or weapons. Describe how to interact with the driver while maintaining officer safety. During driver interaction, the officer maintains an assertive, respectful, and polite demeanor while adopting a non-confrontational interview stance. The officer continuously watches for threat indicators such as excessive nervousness, intense staring, reaching toward the floorboard or back seat, or sitting in a rigid posture. If the driver needs to reach into a glove compartment or console for documents, the officer instructs them to do so slowly and keeps visual focus on both hands. The officer never accepts a wallet directly, but instead instructs the driver to remove the license. If hazards elevate, the officer increases distance or calls for backup. Describe how to verify the driver's identity and vehicle ownership. The officer verifies identity by inspecting the driver's license for validity, current expiration, and matching physical descriptions. If no physical ID is available, the officer requests the driver's social security number and full legal information. Vehicle ownership is verified by comparing the registration certificate against the vehicle identification number or VIN, make, model, year, and DHSMV records. Insurance validity is confirmed through physical paper or official electronic format. Describe how to respond if you suspect that there is a firearm in the vehicle. If an officer suspects or is informed that a firearm is in the vehicle, the officer must ask for its precise location. If the firearm is concealed and readily accessible for immediate use, the officer follows agency policy regarding concealed weapons during traffic stops, ensuring hands remain visible and maintaining safe tactical positioning. Describe how to obtain passenger information. While passengers are generally not required to identify themselves unless suspected of a crime or violation, if reasonable suspicion or probable cause exists, the officer may request official identification such as a driver's license, state ID, school photo ID, military ID, or permanent resident card. The officer then runs CJIS, FCIC/NCIC, and David database queries through dispatch or laptop while keeping visual contact on the vehicle occupants. Explain the actions you may take for a traffic violation. Depending on the severity of the offense, traffic conditions, agency guidelines, and legal requirements, an officer may choose to take no formal action, issue a verbal warning, issue a written warning, issue a uniform traffic citation, or make a physical arrest. Civil traffic infractions involving juveniles are handled in the same manner as adult infractions. Determine when to make a lawful arrest for an unrelated offense during a traffic stop. An officer may make a lawful arrest during a traffic stop if probable cause develops for an unrelated criminal offense, such as discovering an active arrest warrant during database checks, observing illegal drugs or contraband in plain view, or establishing probable cause for DUI or stolen property. Backup should be called prior to making the physical arrest. Describe how to remove passengers and the vehicle from the scene after arresting the driver. Upon arresting the driver, officers must treat passengers with dignity and respect. Depending on the circumstances, the vehicle may be searched, impounded, or released. If impounded, officers conduct a thorough inventory per agency policy and call a commercial record. Alternatively, with owner consent, the vehicle may be released to a licensed passenger or third party, or lawfully parked at the scene.